Now, just to let you know here, right, okay? We're not jumping out of the car and looking for the first woman we can find, okay? We're not like fucking absolute lunatics. Absolutely not. It can just stimulate the area, right? So therefore your sex drive can be quite high, put it that way. But anyway, that's my point. If you're an athlete or you're doing this, you're doing that, it can increase or decrease. But the real point here is Peter. Here we go, guys and girls. It's Wacky Dating Stories of February 24. We have some fucking batshit crazy stories to go through today. A lot to get through. And I'm getting more excited, I have to admit, guys, of doing these episodes, the Wacky Dating Stories, once a month, because I've had multiple people come over to me, and this is the fascinating part. I've had single people who are lonely. They're listening to this episode every month, and they actually get a bit of not security. What's the word I'm looking for? Reassurance, I guess. That's the word, or relief that they're not the only one out there that's suffering. And they don't mean that in a bad way, of course. They just mean, geez, I thought I thought I had a shitty time and I'm miserable and lonely, and oh my God, this makes me feel better. And then I have actually people who are single and happy being single, and they listen to it and they're like, yeah, kind of makes me feel a bit better that, well, where I am here, And then I've had people who were in relationships who were absolutely fucking miserable, and it has actually helped them in terms of degree, kind of like the lonely single person where, hey, I'm not the only one out there that's having a bit of a shit time here, and what do I do? And then I've had the happily married, or the happy couple that are in a relationship. They've said to me that it makes them feel better because, geez, well, we're not having a bad relationship like them. So like they almost feel like they're, I wouldn't say ahead of them or beyond them, but they're luckier, I guess. I'm getting a great response from this podcast episode, so of course it's great. And of course, guys, just to remind you, any of the dating stories that ever come into me, I will never ever repeat anybody's name. Of course it's not. It's anonymous. Always will be. Always has been. And it will always remain that way all the way through. Right. Let's get cooking, guys. So the first one we have, girl on a dating app all over guys. Now this is an important one to address, guys, I think. Look, I would imagine, and I've talked to girls about this, you're on a dating app, you're a guy or you're a girl, you're swiping through, all of a sudden, so let's look at it from a guy's point of view here, okay? Because I'm a guy, obviously. So a guy going through a dating app, and you see, let's say a girl, she's cute, attractive, you're swiping, having a look at her photos, and let's say she's got 5 photos up, and in most of her photos, or maybe let's say all of them, she's all over a guy. Now, coming from a man's point of view here, what the fuck are you doing all over another guy in most of your photos? And you know what, ladies and gents, I will tell you now, most guys I know, I can't speak for every guy, most guys I know, that if you see a girl all over a guy in fucking photos on Tinders or Bumbles or wherever, you are swiping left instantly. We're not hanging around. We're not fucking around. Now, maybe there's an exception. Maybe it's a swinger couple, which can very easily happen, of course. So that would make sense for a lot of us. Even I can't, as a guy, make sense of why all these people do it, like the girls that I see. I ain't swiping right. I don't care how fucking hot she is. And I'm telling you now, guys and girls, how long have I been on Tinder? Jesus. On and off. I've been on and off Tinder. I've been in relationships, so then back on it when I'm single. So let's say from the very start of Tinder, which was 10 or 12 years ago, I have never once swiped right on a girl that is all over some other fucking guy on her photos. Because number one, you're thinking, well, I'm just another number to this girl. Now, the thing is, even if you are single, No one likes to feel like they're second best. Let's cut the horse shit here, okay? You don't want to see some girl that you're interested in hanging off some other guy. And then we're also thinking, oh, well, is this girl her gay best friend? Is it her fucking booty call? What is this, is this guy going to be around? So like before we do anything, we're instantly swiping fucking left. We're not even going to entertain this. Now, if there's guys out there that do this, well then, hey, maybe they're into threesomes with another guy and a girl. And if you are into that, well then so be it. So be it. But I've talked to some girls out there too, and I know that some girls feel the exact same fucking way. They're not swiping on a guy who's all over some other fucking girl on their profile. It's a joke. Now, if there's anyone out there that's listening to this, and if you do have a Tinder or Bumble profile, and you are all over the opposite sex in all your photos, and you're not looking for a threesome, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm being very, very serious here. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, what, are you trying to make a guy jealous? Are you trying to make a girl jealous? Is that what you're trying to do? Because that ain't gonna fucking fly very fast. Or very far, I can tell you now. So please, guys, if it's not looking for a threesome, if you're just arsing around, I'm telling you now, coming from a man's point of view, and if this is a girl in that position and you're all over another guy, get rid of those photos if you're not looking for a threesome, and have nice photos of just you. Don't have your friend, don't have your cat, your cow in the field next door. Don't have anything. Just have you. It's the best way forward. It eliminates, because I would say, like I said, I can't speak for every dude out there. I would say 90%, and that's probably being very generous here, girls, okay? Probably being very generous. I would say 90% of dudes are going to swipe left. Unless they're in for a threesome, and they're looking for a threesome with another guy and girl. Anyway, I've said my piece on that one. So another turn of events during the month was a very funny one. And this is not really a dating story, but I just thought I had to throw this in. And they were talking about the health benefits of masturbation. It was such a funny... I even did a podcast on this there recently. I mean, the funny thing about it, actually, I find, is that it's fucking true. Like, jerking off can be a really good thing. Gets rid of some stress. You're more relaxed during the day. Apparently it helps to prevent heart attacks, believe it or not. It can help prevent cancers, believe it or not, I think. Touch wood for all of us. So guys, jerk off, my friends. Jerk off. I'm getting banned, man. I'm telling you, that's it. I'm getting fucking banned. They're going to pull me from Spotify, Apple, YouTube. It's all over. It's fucking over. Nice knowing you, fellas and girls. Jesus. Okay, the next one. A woman with cats in all her photos on Tinder. That's right. So that came up at the start of the month. And look, guys and girls, I understand. Like, someone very close to me just got a dog recently within the last year, and Jesus, I love the dog. Like, love the dog. But I ain't putting the dog up on my fucking Tinder or Bumble, right? Like, I love this dog. I can't even explain to you how much I love this dog. And it's not even my dog. So I can't even imagine what it's like for an owner. But I can tell you this, ladies and gents. If you start putting up photos of your cat or your dog, and if they're in all your photos, number one, most of us guys are going to be thinking, actually, come on. Women are going to be thinking this. Jesus, does this guy or girl have a life? Do they do anything else? Is this what they do on a Saturday night? Sit at home with their cat? Like, it's okay to have pets. Do you know what I mean? It's totally 100% acceptable. But none of us want to be seeing it on fucking dating apps. Because it's kind of like... I mean, obviously I can only properly speak from a man's point of view here. It's kind of like for a man. We look at that and we're like, oh, alright, this one wants to be settled down straight away and she wants to get married and have babies and have the cat as well, of course. Or she wants to do things with the cat. What is she going to be doing? Bringing the cat to the cinema next? Is she under a blanket sitting by the fire having a cup of tea with the cat all over her every night of the week? Does she stink of cat? Like, a lot of things are going through some of us guys' head. I can't speak for every man, of course. Let's just put that in again. I know I'm like a broken record when I say that, but please, ladies and gents, get rid of the fucking pet in the fucking dating app photos. Please, for the love of God. We don't want to be seeing that. And now, if you want to battle me, you can say, well, that's just immature. No, it's not immature. Okay? It's not. You're up to show you, not your cat, not your dog, not your car outside, none of the above. Don't do it, guys. It's not a good idea. Not a good idea. Here was an interesting one, actually. And actually, this was a kind of a nice one. And by the way, if this guy is listening to this podcast, please give us an update, sir. I would love to hear from you to see what happened on Valentine's night. Please, for the love of God, please. I'm praying to you. Please contact me. I want to get an update. So, guys, let me tell you the story. Guy, on Valentine's Day, he has an ex-girlfriend. They broke up at Christmas time. Now, he didn't go into all the specifics, but he's trying to get her back. And he was kind of looking for advice, you know, like, what do you think, ladies? And people were very encouraging and very, very supportive to him, in fairness. Now, again, look, like I said, we all don't know the whole story, so we can only look at the good part of this, right? But I think it was a quite good one to do. Now, hopefully he didn't do anything bad, but on Valentine's Day, he's, you know, so what is it? Christmas time up to Valentine's is about 2 months, let's say, and he decides to send a gift to her office on Valentine's Day. And it was she opened it, and it was an invitation to dinner that night. And obviously, he said that he's going to write it out, who's it from, of course, everything, the place to meet, the time, everything. And we still don't have an update. I'd love to hear from this guy. I even emailed him, you know, I have to say, I even emailed the guy back. Hey man, I said, look, is there any update? Could you let us know? It'd be nice to hear. Whether you want me to say anything online or not, that's a different story, but I would just love to hear what happened. So I haven't heard from him, but please, for the love of God, sir, I don't even have to call it out online, alright? If you don't want me to say anything, I will say nothing of the sort. Just please let us know how he got on. It'd be great to know. But hey guys, good idea. Very good idea, actually. Especially, and I think this is why I'm bringing this up, especially if you want to ask somebody out. So not necessarily like what this guy's doing, but if you even want to just ask someone out, even for a guy here, good idea. Maybe you've been having a bit of a flirt with somebody, right? And they know your name, you know their name, and you know where each other you live, and this could be the girl in the coffee shop that you see every morning. It could be the guy in the coffee shop you see every morning. I mean, not a bad idea. Do you know what I mean? At least there's a little bit of a mystery to it, or there's effort put into it, maybe. That's the key here. And I like this approach, man. Yeah, give me an idea if I ever get into this situation where I know somebody and, you know, you don't have a chance to talk to them properly because they're at work or you're at work or something. It's not a bad way to go. It's a great idea. I just wonder, did she actually show up? Oh man. I mean, I can vision the guy here now. He's sitting there waiting, wondering, you know, because look, if he's trying to get her back, maybe he's done something wrong, and if he has, chances are the girl's going to make him wait. And don't blame her, of course. But can you imagine sitting there and the nerves trembling, and you've got couples all around you, or even if it's not, if it was quiet on Valentine's night, can you imagine all the waiters and waitresses looking down at you going, oh, the poor bastard, is she going to show up? Fuck me. So anyway, man, please, sir, please contact me. I'm not going to mention your name. You know, whoever, if you are listening to this, you know who you are. Please give us an update. Okay, so we'll leave it there, guys, on that one. Right, what is next? Let me just whip out my notes here, guys. And do men play with themselves all the time? And it was interesting, guys. How this is coming up is I saw an article actually, and somebody was asking, do men play with themselves all the time? If so, how much do they play with themselves? Well, look, any of the lads listening here, I'm just going to tell the ladies the truth here. I mean, this isn't any fucking secret anyway, for God's sake. Ladies, we don't play with ourselves all the fucking time, okay? You know, when we hit puberty and we're going through all those physical changes in our body, yeah, it's a bit more than that, and it depends, you see. I mean, look, it's kind of like anybody, whether you're a man or woman. I mean, if you're an athlete and you're working out all the time, believe me, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can get a huge goddamn fucking sex drive. Like, you're just gagging for it. Then, if you stop at whatever age, it'll get slower, much slower. I mean, I can tell you now, ladies, when I was racing, I had an unbelievable sex drive. And I'm being very honest, because it was just the fitness, the right foods, it was... And this is kind of a weird one to talk about. Because you're in a racing car, you're sitting on the ground, and you've got very little padding. A lot of vibrations go up your bum, right? So it's so it's, if anything, it's, what was it? It's not massaging, but it's like, it's putting pressure on your G-spot up the man's bum, okay? Look, this is no secret. Everybody knows this one, right? But, you know, you can get aroused a bit more. By the way, we're not driving around in racing cars with fucking boners on us. Absolutely not. What I'm just saying is that there's a lot of fitness. You know, you're working on your body. I can't fucking believe I'm talking about this one. Oh my god. But it's true story. True story. Now, just to let you know here, right, okay? We're not jumping out of the car and looking for the first woman we can find, okay? We're not like fucking absolute lunatics. Absolutely not. It can just stimulate the area, right? So therefore your sex drive can be quite high, put it that way. But anyway, that's my point. If you're an athlete or you're doing this, you're doing that, you know, it can increase or decrease. But the real point here is, in puberty, we're absolute crazy bastards when we're going through puberty. Now, not every guy, a lot of guys are. We're playing with ourselves. Yes, we are. No big fucking deal, right? This is when we're, 13, 14, 15. And then as we get older, we're not. I mean, ladies, the way some women think how many times men are playing with themselves, it's kind of frightening, I've got to say. I will tell you this. If men were this horny, wouldn't you think every strip club and brothel would be... wouldn't you think every brothel, prostitute on the street, wouldn't you think they'd all be fully booked up for every night? Do you know what I mean? Like, every strip club isn't full every single night. And believe me, there's some guys that actually prefer strip clubs than prostitutes, because it's the tease element of it. It's kind of almost like a game, you know? And then they can go home and do whatever you need to do with each other, or with yourself, but that's the way it is. Like, it's not a... I'm telling you, if we were that horny, we wouldn't be going out at the weekends. There'd be prostitutes everywhere. There'd be strip clubs open 24/7. It ain't fucking that. You know, believe it or not, ladies, we do like to actually get to know a girl or settle down with a girl sometimes. Like, I know a lot of men these days, ladies, that they do anything for a relationship if they're not in one already. They do anything. Yeah, and they're loyal guys, and it's a good sign. It's a fucking great sign. Rest assured, for women, it's a comfort, and it's great. There's light at the end of the tunnel here. And hey, what about women? I mean, don't women want sex too? Of course. Of course. Now, do men get turned on easier than a woman? Well, I suppose you'd have to say the average man. Of course, you can't speak for everybody, but I suppose, yeah, I guess the average man, if you want to break it down that way, we probably do get turned on quicker and easier than a woman. But we have a limit too. You push a guy so far, even on a night out, if you met some random stranger and, you know, you're having a bit of a kiss and a cuddler and things are looking good and you might just go home for a hookup, you know, you push a guy so fucking far, he won't fucking sit there and take that shit. He won't. So, but anyway, I thought it was a very funny article, and I did a podcast on that actually as well, guys. It was... Oh, it was funny, man. Right, guess what we're back with? One word fucking answer time on Tinder. What is it about this one word answer, guys? I mean, how long have I been doing my social media now? I've been doing my podcast for over a year. I've been doing social media for 2 years plus. I don't know the exact time, but it's definitely 2 years plus. And this problem comes up a lot. And this is a common problem. This happens to both men and women here. You know, I've seen so many scenarios where all of a sudden two people match on Tinder or Bumble. Everything's great. Everything's wonderful. There's texts flying back and forth every 5 minutes for the first 3 or 4 days. And all of a sudden, one of them cools off. And it's one word fucking answers. Of course, that's going to send any man or woman into the abyss here. It's going to send you into complete darkness of total fucking confusion and probably meltdown, especially if you like the person, right? I mean, I wouldn't blame any man or woman having a meltdown, especially if you're really feeling this, you know? And then you have people who match on Tinders and Bumbles, and yeah, you're just putting in one word answer from the get-go. Now, I'm going to say this to both men and women out here. What are you playing at? Is this a game you're playing? Look at me, how cool and casual I am. Well, that ain't going to last you very long, honey or dude. It ain't going to last you fucking very long here, because coming from a guy's going to get pissed off of this bullshit. And believe me, we're talking to our friends about this here. Dude, get this fucking one here now. Yeah, one word answers. Look. And he, depending on how bad it is, ladies, he'll show his friend. And his friend, I can see this, his friend's going to look, has his eyes up in heaven. Oh, for fuck's sake. What's wrong with these girls? Now, let's flip it around. Yes, I'm very, very aware that men are doing this to women too. So, girls, I'm not having a go at you. I've heard loads of stories. I've seen text messages from girls. They've shown me the one-word answers. And it's bullshit. Dudes, what the fuck are you doing? It's really simple. If you don't want to talk to somebody, don't talk to them. Don't give a one-word answer. So let's start there. There's the starting point. If you don't have any interest in them, don't text back, unmatch them, and that's it, job done. Or, if you're playing some pathetic, stupid fucking game of how much attention can I get off this person, well, karma's going to come back and bite you on the ass anyway on that one. And why? What's wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Are you that petty to actually go off and just give one-word answers hoping you're going to get more attention? Or is it a trust thing? Because what? Do you think that giving one-word answers and hoping that the person's going to make an effort with you, where does that stop? Because in my experience, that never stops. If you've got trust issues with a man or a woman, and you decide to give one-word answers back to somebody because, you know, you just don't know about them, you don't trust them, and I want to see if they're going to make an effort. Well, hang on a second. Where did you get your level of fucking ego to say, I'm above this person, I deserve the attention, not him or her? Like, what about the other person? What if let's say you did get fucked over in a relationship. What if the other person you're speaking to got way worse fucked over than you? Like 10 times worse than you, but they just don't play fucking games. They don't fuck around. And, let's be honest, if you do start playing these small petty games, it ain't stopping there. Oh, what is it? Their qualification? Yeah, right. Bullshit. That's not their qualification. It ain't going to stop there. You're going to look for it some other place too. Because if you do, God forbid, a tragedy, if you actually did get some comfort that the person's all over you, well, guess what? It's the worst delusional security blanket you've got. And even if you do feel a little bit better after that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to need that security blanket again. So cut your one-word answer bullshit out, guys. I've had it before, and it drives me insane. Absolutely insane. There is no point of talking to the person. It ain't gonna end well. Because I know this from a guy's point of view. Maybe the girl's giving you one-word answers, and maybe you'll put up with a little bit of it. Guess what happens? You meet them, and all of a sudden you realize, huh. And there's a voice in your head saying, so you're very chatty here, but you couldn't be chatty on their fucking messages, huh? What's up with you? Then all of a sudden you just don't like the person then anymore. You're done with them. Anyway, something to think about, guys. If you do these one-word answer things, I don't know what you'd call them. Okay, what else do we have? You match with somebody, you like them. You don't hear from them on WhatsApp, and then you see them online. Oh, this is an interesting one. So a few days ago, no, I'm sorry, it was about a week and a half ago. So this person, was it a lady? I think it was. It was a lady that emailed in or contacted me on social media, wherever it was. She contacted me, and she was into a guy. And there was a lot of text back and forth. Then all of a sudden he started to go quiet. And then she was wondering what's going on. Now, I think they were talking to each other on WhatsApp here. And then all of a sudden then she decided to go back on Tinder or wherever it was and see if he was online or if she could see anything. And he was online. So the woman was wondering, does she give him the boot? What do you do? You see, this is a very tough one. I mean, look, if all of a sudden it goes from bad to worse, or it goes from good to bad, in other words, you're chatting away and all of a sudden it's getting bad, well, that's your first sign, right? Now, I get it. I understand too. You know, it just doesn't, sometimes it doesn't make sense. But you know that easy come, easy go? And, you know, ladies out there, or guys, you know, it's a place for both. That's happened to me multiple times where a girl's been all over me. She's almost asking me out within the first 5 minutes of talking to her. And every time I see one of these girls, easy fucking come and easy fucking go. Every single girl that I've had on a dating app like that, they're all over you and you're like, this is almost too easy. You're like, what the hell's going on? Trust me, it's okay. They're gone, and they're gone within 24 hours. Like, gone. You'll never hear from them again. That's my experience. And it's crazy. Crazy. So, I mean, what do you do in this scenario? Do you confront the issue? Do you address the elephant in the room, as you'd call it? I mean, do you just say it out straight to them? You see, that's where I probably would, what I would do. Because look, let's call this what it is. Here's what I would do in this situation. Now, give me a bit of rope on this one, guys and girls, right? Just wait, don't hit the buzzer until I'm finished, alright, on this one, because don't assume something. Hear me out on this one first. Okay, let's say I'm talking to a girl now and everything's going really good. I'm attracted to her like hell. The chat is unreal. We're about to meet up or whatever it is, okay? And I'm really feeling excited about this one. All of a sudden she goes dark and I'm wondering what the hell's going on. Now, if I went back onto a dating app and if I did see that she was online again, of course I'd be crushed to a degree. Not heartbroken, but I'd be, oh, fuck. It'd be a kick in the balls. Major kick in the balls. And the heart, to a degree, you know what I mean? What I would do is this. I would probably text the girl back. Have everything out on the table. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. There's too many people walking around this planet trying to make themselves look, I don't give a shit and everything is all cool boy. I don't give a fuck about her or him and blah 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 blah. And before you know it, no one gives a shit but everybody actually does. I would have it straight out with the person. Hey, Mary, whatever her name is. Listen, look, I have to say I'm really confused here. What's going on here? I've been really enjoying our conversations. I really want to see you. But all of a sudden you've gone really quiet, and I actually did log online and I saw that you were online. I presume you've no interest anymore. Is this correct? Question mark. So at least that way, you've told the person you like them, right? That you're not leaving anything out, and at the exact same time, you're actually letting it go. You're actually throwing in the towel. You're saying, I presume you don't like, you're not interested anymore. Is this correct? Question mark. So you're putting it back in their court, right? It's not like just a statement and off you go riding off into the sunset. No, this is still back in their court. You're still wondering what's going on. That's something that I would do, guys. It's very important, I think, to let people know that you do give a fuck. And who gives a fuck that you give a fuck? Do you get me? What's the problem with you actually caring? Jesus, we're so fucking busy looking around, you know, when you see your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. Now, I can understand there's certain scenarios, of course, Jesus, don't get me wrong, guys, you know, that you see your ex or your ex-husband or whatever, and, you know, you're having a big smile on your face, you're laughing, and yet you're doing this, you're doing that, and it doesn't look like you give a shit. Very understandable for certain scenarios, of course. But we're on about dating here. Do we all have to, quote, not give a fuck? Do you know? It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. It's false. And are you really making an asshole out of yourself? Like, do you really think that person that you're into who's kind of ghosting you now and they've just taken a step back, do you really think they're running off to their friend and saying, oh, hey, by the way, you know, did you see that Peter over there? Oh, yeah, is that the guy you were talking to on Tinder? Yeah, actually, do you know what? I'm not interested in him anymore, but see this. Look at the oh my God, look at the message you sent. Like, do you really think she's going to be sitting there laughing, like pain in her stomach, laughing from your message because you care or you like her and showing that you're interested? Do you think she's going to sit there with her friend laughing? Or unless you're Adolf Hitler and she's got an Adolf Hitler friend, then maybe the two of them are laughing. But do you really think most people are going to sit there and be impressed by the girl or guy laughing at your messages, showing that you actually are interested? No, they're not, because they'd be afraid they're going to look like a fucking idiot. So I wouldn't worry about that. Don't, please, ever, guys. Put it out there. Lay your fucking heart out there. Your balls on the line. Absolutely. There was another interesting one too. Getting ghosted on Valentine's Day. This happened to some poor soul on Valentine's Day just gone, guys. You know, but I even put up a message on Valentine's. Can I say, I don't think it's such a big deal to actually get... It's a kick in the balls, there's no doubt about it. But it ain't the end of the world. And actually, I think there's a very good opportunity out of getting ghosted or crushed on Valentine's Day, because I'm sorry to hear that for anybody that's ever happened to, but if it happens to you, that's about as worse as it can get. Every other day apart from Valentine's doesn't have that intensity. So if you can get dumped or ghosted on Valentine's Day, well, look at it this way. Every other fucking day is going to be a walk in the park to you now, right? Surely. After you've licked your wounds and you've got back up off the ground, you've dusted yourself down, you're ready to go again. Do you know what I mean? I think these things can be a blessing in disguise too. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. If that happened to me, I'd still be crushed or upset or pissed off or angry or whatever. I still would be. But I'd still have it in my head to realize quite quickly that, hey, this is a good thing. This is a great fucking opportunity to toughen me up a little bit and then I'd feel better. I'd feel better. But like I said, I wouldn't be immune to the pain. Absolutely not. Always trying to remember that, guys. I think it's a fucking great, it can be a great asset. Out of shit can come fucking diamonds. Telling you. And guys, keep an eye on my dating groups apps as well. And if you're on Facebook, I'll just call them out quickly. Facebook groups, old school dating age 20 to 28, old school dating age 28 to 35, old school dating age 28 to 35, 35 to 45, old school dating age 45 to 55, and old school dating age 55 plus. And guys, they're private groups. If you do post in the groups, you go straight to the top of the pile. So therefore, you're not working against an algorithm. It's a free service, so you don't spend money to be seen on the dating groups. If you post a photo or video, you go straight to the top of the pile. So check them out, guys, and I hope you'll find somebody. They're doing quite well. There's some good success stories. Now, here's an interesting one. What do you do if you break up with somebody and you feel you need to block your ex or your ex blocks you? All right. This is a bit of a slippy slope, this conversation. Well, let's start off with you, let's say you dumping the other person. You wanted to end it and you did end it. Well, I would say a very good solution would be to block them. For me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, guys, I've blocked my exes on social media. Now, there was a couple more that I actually blocked and I'll never lift the block, right? Like, never lift the block because they are just insanely psycho or painful. And by the way, I know some guys can be like that too. And I'll never unblock them, ever. Then there'd be some girls that it's not that I'd be going back into my messages to unblock them. Actually, like, the thing is, I'd probably leave them blocked. Like, it's not that I'd break up. Let's say I had a healthy breakup with some wonderful girl and I blocked them for a while. Now, I would block them because, for me anyway, this is how I tick, it gives me closure on the deal. And it stops me looking them up on social media. Now, I know you can, of course, go in and unblock. Of course you can. And then do a search. But for me, it does help to keep the wall up, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? It gives a little bit of closure on the deal for you. Helps you to move on a bit. Right? Now, there's other people out there that are full of shit, by the way, and I'm not saying everybody. There's some people that I've met say, oh, that's very immature to be blocking your ex. Oh, really? Tell me, do you look up your ex? I remember there was one person that said this in a conversation I had before. Oh, really? Is it immature? Yeah. Well, do you look up your ex? I do, actually, quite a bit. Oh, you do you? Oh, so maybe you're just using this as a bullshit excuse to look up your ex, because obviously you're looking them up. Like, if you told me that you never look up your ex and you genuinely didn't, and you thought it was immature, I'd still disagree with you, but I'd be more inclined to, like, okay, well, maybe the guy's got a point or the girl's got a point. But no. Ladies and gents, if you ever break up with somebody and you want to block them, please, if somebody turns around and you ask, let's say, a friend, you know, should I block them maybe? What do you think? And if they say, that's very immature, I honestly think there's a real good chance they're stalking their ex, or they've done it before, and it makes them feel better that, well, hey, you know, if Peter doesn't do it, at least I'm not the only one. Right? It makes me feel better about me being me, blocking or unblocking Peter or Johnny or Mary or whoever. Do you know what I mean, guys? And I think it is a good thing to do, blocking somebody. It just gives you that little emotional closure. And hey, if you want to unblock them a couple of years later, well, Jesus, fucking do what you want. It's no big deal. No big deal. Tinder super like. Interesting one. Tinder super like. Now, if anybody doesn't know, ladies and gents, Tinder super like actually increases your visibility on the Tinder app. So in other words, if you do swipe on someone right with Tinder super like, and if you receive this, it doesn't mean that they're obsessed with you. It doesn't mean that they're in love with you. It doesn't mean that they want babies with you. Maybe they're actually using the Tinder super like because they want to stand out from everybody else. They want you to see that. It doesn't mean that they're psycho, that they're going to be hanging around outside your house stalking you. There's some people that actually have gone on with this horse shit. Now, I get it too, because if you are the person to do it, I mean, even when I did it at the start, I did a couple of super likes and I was like, is this okay? Now, for me, it was kind of a bit like, well, why is this here? She either likes me or she doesn't. Then I realized about the algorithm on Tinder and I realized, oh, fucking hell, man, I could be fucked here. She might not even see this. So then I did realize, guys, and listen, I've read up about this, and they do say that you gain, there's an easier chance for someone, a man or woman, to see your profile appear if you super like them. But if you're on the receiving end, don't be thinking that they're going to be a stalker, okay? In fact, if anything, stalkers pretend to be really cool at the start. And they're the person that you'd least think that they're a stalker, then all of a sudden, bang, because they're hiding in the shadows. So please don't think anything bad of that, guys. Please. Okay, what else do we have? Nationalities. This was an interesting one. I did a quick podcast on this there last week, actually. There was a lady, actually, she contacted me, guys, and she was saying, no, she was an Irish girl. And she was, I think she went on a few dates, or she was seeing a Brazilian guy for a little while. And then he started to act very funny, bit weird, standoffish, right? He was cold to her eventually. Then she wasn't sure what to do, which is, look, very understandable, you know, especially if you like somebody, all of a sudden goes from hot to cold to hot, whichever, like, what the fuck's going on here? So she didn't know what to do. And she then contacted me, and I was delighted that she did. And she was thinking, well, Peter, do you know, is it kind of their nationalities that they want to go, they want you to chase them? Well, guys, that's total bollocks, okay? And I'm going to say, and here's why I think it is complete horseshit. It's not about your nationality. It's about who you are. Everybody breaks down to the same people. And give me a bit of rope on this one. I'm going to explain where I'm coming from this one, guys. I've traveled a lot around the world in my life so far. I have lived in many different countries. I have dated many different women, scattered out throughout the years, okay? And I've dated a lot of foreign girls. I've dated a lot of Irish girls throughout the years. Not girlfriend and boyfriends, but just dates, you know. And there's no difference. There is zero difference in any of the foreign girls versus Irish girls that I've dated. I've had girls who are Irish, and I'm Irish, guys, if you're just tuning in for the first time ever. I've had Irish girls, and I'm Irish, who've wanted me to chase them for no reason. I've had foreign girls who've wanted me to chase them for no reason. And every single one of those girls that has wanted me to play these ridiculous games, they've been very, very unstable girls. Extremely unstable girls. That's not a fucking coincidence. Now, is there some girls that are secure in themselves? Yeah, and you know what? And I bet you that they don't play these stupid fucking games. And both men and women here. They don't. But it's too much of a coincidence. Any of these girls that have played these fucking stupid mind games and chasing games, they've been unstable. Not right. They've been, I'm gonna say, bitches. And I'm sure there's loads of bastard men out there that can be like that too. But not every man and woman, of course. Now, on the flip side, I've dated many secure girls that have been very secure in themselves, who were Irish and who were foreign. And it always breaks down to the same thing. We all have a heart. We all have feelings. We all want to feel valuable to the other person. We all want to feel like we mean something. We all want to feel like we're number one draft pick, okay, not number 7 draft pick. We all want to feel like you're not going out on a date with us tonight because, oh, well, the other 4 other guys or girls said no, and I'm 5th on the list. None of us want to feel like that. So please, ladies and gentlemen, do not ever accept or bullshit yourself to believe that they're a different nationality and that's why they play these cat and mouse games and chasing games. Total fucking horse shit. Alright, anyway, I'm going to leave that one there. So what else do we have? And we're going to close off today with an American girl in Ireland. This is an interesting one. American girl has just moved to Ireland and she wants to get a boob job. And she's wondering, what do people think in Ireland? It's very funny. I mean, when I used to live in LA, I mean, we're going back 15, 16 years, guys. 15, 16 years ago, boob jobs were everywhere in LA. And I mean, just everywhere. Like, it was insane. I can even tell from a girl walking down the street if they're fake or not. I can tell because I got so used to it over in LA. Now, I have to say, I'm definitely a real and fake boob man. Absolutely no question. If I had to pick, oh man, I gotta say I like the firmness of the fake. I really do. But hey, that's my taste. But what is the thing? Why do people kind of get a bit put off by this in Ireland? Jesus, do we still get put off by this shit in Ireland? Come on, surely we've evolved that it's no big deal anymore. I mean, there's a lot of Brazilian girls here as well that have started to live here now in Ireland, and they've got boob jobs. It's no big deal down there either. Anyway, ladies, in closing, I would say to you, most of us men like fake boobs. It depends. I mean, of course, if a man sees that you've got real boobs and he likes big boobs and he likes the bounce, well then, hey, that's great. It's great. But don't get it for your man. Don't get it for your boyfriend or husband. Don't do it, for fuck's sake. Sorry, lads, if anybody's listening to this out there. Because you know what? If you end up having a divorce or you break up, what's going to happen then? She's going to be more pissed off then. She'll go, fuck's sake, I got these because of him. And what if you are getting a divorce? Now she's really going to take you to the goddamn cleaners. An extra little bit of fucking revenge. There's no way on this planet I would want my girlfriend or wife to get fake boobs for me. No way. No, fuck that. It's her decision or nothing. I don't want that responsibility, or even worse, thrown in my face if something really goes wrong. Because you could, you know? Not a good idea. Not a good idea. But hey, get them for your own reasons, and good reasons. But don't do it for us, ladies. Fuck that shit. You don't want that hanging over your head either. And trust me, if all goes to shit and you get a divorce, he don't want that either. You know? Fuck that shit. Jesus. So anyway, guys, that's it for today. I'm going to love you and leave you. That is Wacky Dating Stories of February 2024. And of course, we'll be back next month in March 2024 at the end of the month with the Wacky Dating Stories of March 24. And stay tuned, guys, for obviously more dating and etc. And just want to let you know, I was mentioning this for the other podcast there recently. New timetable. Every Monday and Friday, we are talking about motor racing and Formula 1. We're going to be going through either the Formula 1 races every Monday, as in, So for every Formula 1 race, we're going to go through a preview on the Friday of the race weekend. Then on the Monday after the race, we're going to go do a highlights episode. So that's every Friday and Monday of a Grand Prix weekend. If it's not a Grand Prix weekend, we're going to be covering Netflix Drive to Survive. As some of you know, I'm breaking down the Netflix Drive to Survive episode by episode, calling bullshit if something is bullshit or not, if it is a combination of both, what I went through versus what the driver's thinking now, what a manager does for a Formula 1 driver. So that doesn't get explained in Netflix, but I'll give you some of the other inside scoops as well. So it's either going to be every Monday and every Friday, we're going to be talking motor racing and Formula 1. And every other day, Tuesday, Wednesdays and Thursdays, is going to be wacky dating stories and other dating stories, health stories, and just other general shit talk chat. Every Tuesday and Wednesday. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Peter Walsh.